Good morning, and thank you for joining us here in Ottawa. My name is Ken Dobson. I'm the chair of the Board of Recreation RV Dealer Association of Canada, or RVDA of Canada. I'm proud to speak on behalf of Canada's RV dealers, an industry made up of largely of entrepreneurial, family-run businesses rooted in communities across this great country. Our sector helps Canadians connect with the outdoors, supports local economies, and plays an important role in tourism, trade, and employment from coast to coast to coast. With me today is Ellie, chair of the Canadian Camping and RV Association. I want to focus on three practical priorities that are critical to the future of our sector: fair trade under CUSMA, investment in tourism infrastructure, and support for skilled workers. These are not abstract policies ideas to us. They are real, day-to-day issues affecting small businesses, employees, campgrounds, manufacturers, and Canadian families who choose RVing as one of the most flexible, affordable, and accessible ways to travel and experience this great country. First, as the federal government prepares to enter renegotiations of the Canadian-United States-Mexico agreement this summer, we urge policymakers to recognize the unique structure of Canada's RV industry. Our sector is deeply integrated with North American supply chains. Approximately 95% of the RVs sold in Canada are manufactured in the United States. That means our dealers and the customers we serve rely on predictable, open, and barrier-free trade. For our industry, this is simply not a trade discussion. It's an affordability issue, a consumer choice issue, and a small business issue. That is why it is essential that RVs remain clearly defined and distinct with any future agreement. In particular, we are asking the government to preserve the current definitions of motorhomes as categorically different from standard consumer vehicles. That distinction matters. Without it, RVs could become subject to regulatory frameworks and trade barriers intended for passenger vehicles, creating unnecessary cost, complexity, and uncertainty for both dealers and consumers. We're also asking that motorized and towable RVs continue to be treated as separate category in the trade agreements. This will help avoid unintended overlap with other sectors and allow our industry to continue operating efficiently across borders. Second, we must continue to invest in Canada's tourism infrastructure, particularly within our campground, park, and RV travel systems. RVing remains one of the most practical and accessible ways for Canadians to explore their own country. It also brings meaningful economic benefits to rural communities, seasonal destinations, and small businesses that depend on tourism traffic. From family-owned campgrounds to local restaurants, fuel stations, service providers, and attractions, RV travel creates a broad economic ripple effect in communities across Canada. But to fully realize that potential, we need targeted federal investment in camping and RV infrastructure. Upgrading campgrounds, expanding capacity, modernizing services, and improving the overall visitor experience will help meet growing demand and strengthen Canada's tourism offering. This is a practical opportunity. When we invest in the infrastructure that supports RV travel, we make it easier for Canadians to discover Canada. And we make our country more attractive to international visitors looking for outdoor, experience-based tourism. Thirdly, we need to invest in people, specifically the skilled workers who keep our industry moving. Like many sectors, the RV industry is facing a growing shortage of trained technicians and tradespeople. At the same time, many experienced workers are nearing retirement, and the pipeline behind them is simply not strong enough. Currently, only 3 programs in Canada offer RV technician apprenticeships, leading to Red Seal certification. Those programs fill quickly, and too many interested and capable students are left without access because the training is not available in the region. If we want a strong and sustainable RV industry, we need to make it easier, not harder, for the next generation to enter the trade. The other day, the spring economic statement, the federal government introduced several initiatives aimed at strengthening the training and hiring of skilled tradespeople. We welcome these measures as a step in the right direction and as recognition of the workforce challenges facing industries like ours. As these new investments are rolled out, the RVDA of Canada looks forward to working with the government to help ensure that these funds are directed where they can have the greatest impact, including supporting the specific needs of the RV sector. For example, the association has been recommending that the labor mobility deduction for tradespeople is expanded so that it applies to individuals who must temporarily relocate for apprentice training, and certification. These are practical measures that would help remove barriers, strengthen our workforce, and support the long-term competitiveness of our sector. In closing, Canada's RV dealers are very proud. They're proud of the role we play in helping Canadians experience our country. We are proud to represent an industry built not only on products, but on freedom, family, travel, and connection to the outdoors. We are also proud to represent a sector made up of incredibly hardworking, small businesses that continue to adapt, invest, and serve their communities with resilience and determination. As an industry, we understand that there will be factors outside of our control, but the priorities we are discussing today are well within our control. Fair trade rules, stronger tourism infrastructure, and better support for skilled workers are practical steps that can make a real difference. If we get these pieces right, we will strengthen small business, support tourism, improve affordability and access for Canadian families, and position our industry for long-term success. We look forward to working with the federal government in that very spirit. Thank you.